Handicapper Steve here, handicapping the racing from Flemington Racecourse here on Saturday. It is November the 10th, 2018. Gonna look at the stakes races on today's program from Flemington, the Group 1 races. But before I get on to that, remember to please follow me on Twitter at Horse Racing Kid 5 for more selections for racecourses around the world. The races I'll be looking at are the Group 1 races, races 7 and 8. So let's get on to it. Starting off with race number 7, seventh race, it's the Group 1 VRC Sprint Classic. It's going for a purse of $1 million. We have a field of 14 horses dashing the 1,200 meters or 6 furlongs down the Flemington straightaway turf course. Top selection here, I'm going to get a little cute with this one. I'm going to go with the 12 horse In Her Time at 14-1. I'm going to go 12-3-1 in the tricast or the trifecta. 12-3-1 tricast trifecta. Top selection 12 horse In Her Time 14-1. The 6-year-old mare by the time Thief here. Chris Lee's trained. Corey Brown gets the leg up. She's a mare taking on the boys, but I think she's definitely good enough to win here. I think there's going to be a bit of a, I think the closers are going to really do well in this race. I think there's going to be a bit of a pace meltdown. But this horse is a little inconsistent at times. Her most recent outing came in the Ranwick in the $13 million Everest. That day, the horse just, had a wide post run. She finished 7th that day by 6 lengths. A little bit of a turn of foot at the end, but she just never got that good kick on very demanding ground. Before that, she ran at Ranwick in the Group 2 Premier Stakes, 1,200 meters, 6 furlongs. There she had a 3rd place finish, closing up well. She just missed at the end, but she ran a good race there off the break. And then you have to go to her last pari-mutuel run before that, 12th of May. That came at Duman in the 1,000 Stakes Group 1 race, 6 furlongs, 1,200 meters. There she was just inconsistent. She finished 9th, never getting into the race. Finished 9th by 2.5 lengths, small margin, but she just never had the good run. And then before that, she ran the 7th of April at Ranwick in the Group 1 TJ Smith Stakes. There, she finished 3rd by 4 lengths. There she had a decent turn of foot. She was a little bit too far back to get the victory, but she ran well there against some tough horses. And then before that, she ran at Rose Hill Gardens in the Group 1 Galaxy Stakes. There she had a really good turn of foot, going 1,100 meters or 5.5 furlongs. She won just under a length. Really good turn of foot from mid-pack. It was a good race. If you look at our races from last autumn here in New York City, in America, but I would guess last spring in Australia. But last October, she had some really good runs. Going back to a race at Mooney Valley in the Maniquito Stakes, really good sprinting race. 6 furlongs last year, 1,200 meters on the 27th of October. She finished 2nd by just under a half a length there, really closing up well, sitting closer to the pace. Wasn't a bad race there. And then before that, she won the Sydney Stakes at Randwick very nicely by just under a half length. But ever since then, she's been a little inconsistent. She's only won once so far this year, but I think she's due for a good run. Like I said, 14-1. I'll take my chances. I think it's a very wide open race. And like I said, I think the closers are going to be the key to this race, so watch out. So there we have my selections for the 7th from Flemington. It's the Group 1 VRC Sprint Classic. I'm going to go as a top selection to 12 horse In Her Time. I'm going to go 12-3-1 in the tricast trifecta. 12-3-1 trifecta. That's my top 3 basically. So now let's get on to race number 8. Race number 8 from Flemington. It's the Group 1 Mackinnon Stakes. It's going for a purse of $2 million. We have a field of 10 horses going to post a distance of ground of 2,000 meters or 1.25 miles on the turf course. My top selection, I'm going to take the 7 horse Latrobe. I'm going to go 7-3-2 in the tricast of the trifecta. 7-3-2 tricast trifecta. Top selection 7 horse Latrobe. 11-2 here. 3-0 Colt by Camelot. Joseph O'Brien trains this one. Mark Zara gets the leg up. This horse is making his first start down under in Australia, but his most recent outings have come in Europe, most recently at the Curragh on the 16th of September, 1.75 miles, 2,800 meters in the Group 1 Irish St. Ledger. He finished 2nd by 2 3/4 lengths behind Flag of Honor. This horse, he just couldn't get the good closing kick at the end. The ground was a little drier than probably he wanted to. He just couldn't get the good quickening up. Wasn't the day to win. I also don't think he really stayed the distance. I think the cut back to 2,000 meters or 1.25 miles today, he should really do that distance a lot better. Before that, he ran at York in the Juddmonte International, 2,000 meters, a mile and a quarter, 22nd of August, on quite firm ground. Again, he just didn't run well. He finished 7th by 10.5 lengths, never getting into the run. Roaring Lines was the best horse at 2,000 meters this year, or a mile and a quarter. You know, nobody was catching him there, except in the British Cup Classic where he hated the third kickback, but, you know, nobody was just catching him there. And then before that, he ran the Curragh in the Group 1 Irish Derby, shall we say, because I'm in America. 2,400 meters, a mile and a half there. He had the coming out party. He won by a half length, sitting closer that day. He fought a good race down the stretch, and, you know, he got the victory. Good run there. And then before that, at the Curragh, in the in just the basic maiden race, and, you know, 2,400 meters, mile and a half on June the 9th, he won by 6.5 lengths, sitting closer that day on the front end, and he just won for fun. The last time he ran 2,000 meters before the Juddmonte International came at the Curragh in the Group 3 Mackinnon Stakes, and you know, he's still a maiden there, but you know, he finished second by 2.25 lengths there. Really good run there, even facing winners in group quality horses. He ran a good effort. I think he has a good post right here to win. He's a little versatile. He gets a little bit closer. He come from behind. He should like a little give in the grounds, and you know, I'll take my chances with him at 5.5 to 1. So watch out for him. So to recap my selections for the 8th from Flemington, it's the Group 1 Mackinnon Stakes. Top selection, going to go with the 11-horse Latrobe. Excuse me, the 7-horse Latrobe. I don't know what the fuck I'm saying. I'm going to go 7-3-2 in the trifecta. So 7-horse Latrobe is my top selection. 7-3-2 trifecta. Pardon me, it's late in the morning, early in the morning here in America. So good luck to all. Please follow me on Twitter at HorseRacingKid5. Good luck, everybody.